All right. Yeah, I'm gonna
All right, it's the Roll Around the Barrel show, talking to vintage baseball players of every sexual orientation from coast to coast and border to border. What we've got here is a little interview we promised to get to back when we were at the Ohio Cup, and we come through on our promises here on the Roll Around the Barrel show. So I am your host, the Barrel Roller, Matthew Bernard. I'm joined by my co-host.
That's right. Swamp Fox Free is here. And you know what? I love how you just tweaked the intro just a little bit for our guest today. That was very nice.
Well, I'm a feminist. I think half of the women population would agree with that.
Well,
how about
really
you,
nice.
Rudy? You a feminist? You?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. We love the women. I actually go through my life thinking that women are much smarter than men. They prove it all the time. So I'm actually let's bring in our guest from the should I do my I don't have enough to go on that. Let's just say from the Ohio Village Lady Diamonds, vintage baseball's own Amy Dickerson, fun size. How you doing, Amy?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm excellent. Let me ask you this question before we get off topic. When you're a man who not only thinks women should be equal, but they're actually smarter than men, what do you call those people? Because I'm one of those.
Allies? I don't know.
A smart man? I don't know.
Smart individual.
I don't know. I just when people talk negatively about a woman eventually becoming president, I'm like, have you seen who our presidents have been? Why is everyone so scared of that?
Do people want organization and like love? That's a woman.
Yeah, seems like we should go in that direction, except for Hillary Clinton. That's a different discussion for another day. Hey, Amy, how have you been? We haven't talked to you in a month.
Yeah, it's been good. Nothing too exciting to report, honestly. I've been practicing my typing.
There's had to have been something. You're back to typing?
No, she's been practicing. We're in trouble.
Practicing. Oh, that's right. We were going to have the typing contest.
All right.
All right. So Amy, truth be told, this is a weakness of my personality. Rudy does not have the same weakness, but I don't listen to our episodes because I can't stand the sound of my own voice.
Wonder why.
I hate that I chuckle a lot. I hate me so much.
Whatever.
So I don't think I've ever gone back and listened to an episode. So when we come across something like, oh yeah, we're supposed to have a typing contest, I won't, it takes that for me to remember because I won't listen to it. But everybody listening to this, don't do as I say. Like, listen. Like, you can listen to me, but I can't listen to me. And my wife.
That was a heck of a sales pitch. Nice job.
Yeah.
But I remember the typing contest was supposed to happen. What are you up to now that you've been practicing? Words per, what do they calculate that? Minutes?
Seconds, right?
Words per minute. Yeah.
Oh.
With typos, I'm at like 82. So
now, what were you before you went back to practicing?
Consistently in the 70s. So
you didn't improve much. I don't think the focus was there. Rudy, how many words a minute?
I don't. I'm gonna say 10. 10.
10. It depends on the words. If we did like cat, the cat sat on a dog and had a fur coat on, I could probably whip that out in 15 seconds.
We've all seen your big man hands, though. So.
I mean, they're sausages. I have a hard time texting.
I believe
Oh
it.
my gosh.
I've done this thing to Rudy many times where I text the wrong word and then I just keep texting the wrong word because I think I'm correcting it. And I'm not. I'm just sending them the same wrong word
Let's
over and over.
let's just
They're
say that I get a
sausages.
lot of ducks. A
That's
lot
it.
of ducks.
Duck, duck, duck.
Duck. Yeah, that's how the whole duck joke started. Hey, Amy, we're gonna talk to you about a lot of things because we're gonna spend an hour with you.
Okay.
But one of the things I did see when I looked you up is that you studied at the Ohio Dominican University. Is that, am
ODU.
I saying that right?
Yeah. ODU, Ohio Dominican. Yep. So it's a small private Catholic college in Columbus. Yep.
Cat, was it girls only?
No, it was not. But I did have
All
some
right, well,
nuns as
there
teachers
goes
or professors.
well, there goes that fantasy. Oh, I've already ruined my feminist status. It's already gone.
Inappropriate.
All girls Catholic school. What? It's gone. I ruined it. What I want to know though about this is the Dominican part. What? Because you hear Dominican, and you're like, oh, Central America. Obviously, that's not it. What? Where does the Dominican come from?
So there is the Dominican Sisters. They are the Catholic, what's the word? Convent? Nunnery?
There you go. Yeah.
That's on the grounds there. So that's where the name comes from.
I got a small story about ODU. Back in the day, I played many years ago, played fall baseball when it was called Ohio Dominican College. And the coaches of all of the teams were the players for the, it's like kind of like their way of like being able to scout without scouting. And there were so many Dominican baseball players.
Yeah.
And because you get to talk to them and hang out with them, like, why Ohio? And they're like, oh, we saw Dominican. And it was the funniest conversation to have. The guy was like, Ohio Dominican. I was like, okay, cool. That makes sense. There you go. So,
I mean, our baseball team was really good.
Yeah, they're really good.
Yeah.
Amy, we're going to probably go over many different things that we talked about while we had you in our presence at the Ohio Cup. Thanks for doing that, by the way. You have this smile that lights up the whole room. So I suggest everybody listening to this audio presentation to head on over to our YouTube channel. At some point, this will be uploaded over there. Rudy just gave me the finger guns, so I think that's his way of saying yeah.
I mean, good thing I put some makeup on. You didn't tell me this was going to be a YouTube thing. You're welcome.
We didn't tell Kevin Munch either, and he could never get his camera working. We're just experimenting. You look fine. You're on camera next to us, so seriously, no one's going to complain about you. Let's start with going all the way back to the first time that you picked up a stick and hit a ball with it.
Okay. So I started playing when I was 4 years old, played t-ball, Capital City Fire. My dad was one of the coaches. So I grew up in Westland Youth Athletic Association. And then went all the way through high school ball, and then continued to play rec league after that. So you
started having your dad coach you in t-ball. How far did he go with you coaching you?
All the way until I went to college, and I didn't play ball in college, but he was part of my rec league like coaches. So yeah, I think I alluded.
What is your
sorry?
What is your dad's experience with baseball?
I think he played like backyard ball, but that's about it. So,
but it was more about just coaching his daughter.
Yeah,
that's really what it was about. Okay.
Yeah, so I alluded to this in our Ohio Cup interview, but I was the son he never had.
Yeah.
until he got a son. So that's a weird thing about me. So I'm one of 6. So I started with 2 sisters growing up, and then my dad then adopted 3 kids after I left the house, basically. So now I have 2 brothers and a sister as well.
So to cope with you leaving the house, he had to bring in 2 more people, is what I just heard.
3 more people.
3 more people. Oh my goodness. Wow.
Yes, and 2 of them were boys.
What can you what was it like for you to have your dad coach? As someone who had their father, none of my brothers got the opportunity to have my dad coach them. It was just me. What was that experience like for you?
Oh man, it was like, first off, it was awesome to have my dad be so involved. But I also think that he had really high expectations of me. Like I learned to catch a ball because he would put me up against the fence at home and throw really hard at me. And I eventually started catching it. So like, that's how I became a good fielder, I guess. But my dad was always proud of me because I was like the kid that always had like the biggest bat.
Oh, okay.
Kind of thing. So yeah, I don't know. It's just the sports is the thing that my dad and I always connected on.
So back in the early T-ball days, and maybe a couple of years after that, when boys start up T-ball and everything, what they like to do is they like to build sandcastles at second base, and they like to tackle everybody during the games, and they don't understand the ball and going after the ball and running. They don't understand a run to first base. They run in all opposite directions and all that stuff. Curious, was that what you were like in T-ball when you started?
No, I don't think I was. Like I have been very like athletic even when I was little. So I was always
So you
into
wanted
it.
to learn, you wanted to play, you wanted to know what in the heck was going on here. There's reasons, and you need the reasons. And that's why you should be president, Amy. Oh, I need the president song right there. Rudy, that would have fit so good.
That would have been great.
I think I've done too many weird things to be president. So move on from that.
Oh, you don't think they have? Everybody else? I think if you join politics as a full-time profession, you've already done a weird thing.
It's true.
So, Amy, you play all the way up, and then you get to college. You don't play anything there, and then after that, it's rec. It's softball, right? Once you get into early adulthood, it's softball.
Yeah, co-ed,
Are you
and
playing
a couple female teams? Yeah.
Are you playing slow pitch or are you playing fast pitch?
Slow pitch.
And what positions are you playing mainly in that situation?
Short, third, usually.
You know, when you're growing up and you got a dad who's coaching you and you started at 4 years old, you're playing baseball in the neighborhood, right? I mean, you're playing neighborhood games.
So no, so I grew up in the country. So I had one neighbor that was a girl and she was younger than me. So no.
So the only time you're playing is at practice.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Wow, that's completely different. And then you get into softball, and then how and when? Well, do you still play softball?
Not really. No, once I started vintage, I kind of stopped playing rec league. So recently
Really?
I've had a couple people ask if I want to play on their rec league, but I kind of feel like I don't even have like a bat that I could use, or like they're all wearing masks now. Like,
don't do it.
That.
Don't do it.
I wonder if Rudy Frias has a question right here. Rudy.
Well, no, I mean, it's a tale as old as time. Like once you go from softball, because there's that gap. You have your organized scholastic baseball, and then you can't do that anymore. So softball creeps in. And then once you find vintage, you're like, I don't want to go back to softball. Like that makes sense. I totally get that. Are you were you finding vintage baseball somewhere in there, or did you stop playing softball and find vintage baseball?
So it was somewhere in there. So I realized that I needed like a more well-rounded hobby other than just like, Friday nights at the ball field and people were drinking and like just carrying on, that I was not that kind of person. So I was looking for a hobby and totally fell into vintage baseball. So there was a little bit of an overlap.
Nice.
It's got to be a little bit harder for you girls to make that transition from softball to vintage, because once you get into vintage, you realize there's just not very many of us, and
Right.
then have over 30 teams in Ohio to choose from to play. And you guys are at this point now. When you started, there was probably a handful of girls teams left, right?
Yeah.
So, but at this point now, you're just looking for going to, say, a festival or some sort of event and getting that home team area to come up with a women's team so you can put on an exhibition of what's going on.
Mhm.
It must be a little harder to keep vintage as your hobby when you can't do it as much as you want.
I mean, that's true. I think that's part of why I'm joined the advisory board for the Muffins and Diamonds, because that's a monthly thing. And, I'm fully participating in muffin events too. So, but overall, we play about, 8 to 10 games a season right now. And that includes festival games and club matches. So I think that's just enough to like satiate me right now. And then, as the Muffins need players, they always ask too. So it's not bad.
How many, unless this is a secret that is kept, unless I'm asking you something that you don't want to say, but how many current Ohio Village Lady Diamonds are on the roster?
So there are about 35 people that get our emails blasts. So that doesn't mean that everybody is playing right now. And there's been some folks that have kind of fallen away due to COVID. Obviously, there's still some fear for that. But I still keep in contact with all 35 of them. So, yeah.
So you guys have probably a inter squad game once or twice a year. Is that
So
safe to say?
we just did that at the Ohio Cup. So we had our first that I can remember, and a lot of people can't remember ever having one, an intra squad match. So yeah, so we're hoping to do more of that next year.
Do you guys ever think about making a second team with a different name, but out of the same? Never
No,
thought about that.
not yet. I think our goal right now is just to get enough ladies to continue to do these intra squad matches. And then after that, help us like more establish ladies teams throughout Ohio so that we can have an opponent.
Yeah, let's stay on that for a second. And Rudy, after I ask this question, I'll give you the next question on this. But do you think, I'm just spitballing here, I have not even thought about this until the last 15 seconds. Do you think it's the Lady Village or the Lady Diamonds of the Ohio Village, do you think if they separated into a couple of teams and then you could play a match against each other and market that and advertise it, and people would think there's two women teams playing against each other, that might spark a little bit more interest instead of just an inter squad game of one team? I don't.
It's an interesting concept. I just don't know, like, we're a volunteer program and we have to have background checks through the Ohio History Connection and everything. So we really market it as it is volunteers. So I don't know that I can say that these 9 girls are going to be the ones that are officially on this team and 9 on the other team. But I think, something to consider for the future. So
just trying to think of ways to spark a little bit more interest in the women clubs, as we can't stop men from making more clubs. Stop, dudes. We have enough. Stop. If we could just get the women to feel that way.
Right? I know. So I have a bit of a clarification. So It's a misnomer that our name is the Ohio Village Lady Diamonds. So we recently changed that. And by recent, I mean like in the past 5 years. Just Ohio Village Diamonds now. So we dropped the lady.
Mm-hmm.
So.
It's interesting because, like, thank you. The coming from okay, how do I phrase this question without making it sound about me? The history of the diamonds is vast. Like, I mean, the diamonds, for those listeners out there who aren't familiar, the diamonds were formed in the early 90s, and they have existed since then. When you joined the club and you got to play, when did it flip in your head, or when did you make the decision that, you know what, I want to do more than just show up and play? I really want to be a part of, like, the advisory board, be a part of the people who are in discussions and making decisions about the club? When did that happen?
Yeah, so I started playing in 2012. And honestly, the Diamonds played maybe 3 to 5 games per season. So we were just, we were a collective group of women that liked each other and we'd show up every now and then. But in 2019, Jackie Forker was our main advisory board point person, and she was the only one. And she decided that she was going to step away because she has a lot of commitments to Ohio University and their hockey team, and she's got a lot going on with that. So she wanted to focus her efforts there. So very emotionally for her, she stepped away and asked for somebody to, take over her role on the advisory board. So at the time, I was huge and pregnant, and it was something that I wanted to help with, but I knew that that was not something that I could do full commitment for. So luckily, at the time, Megan Boggs and I basically were half people. And so we took over her one seat. We shared a vote. And then the next year after I has, popped that baby out and moved on, I was able to fully commit. And so Megan and I became 2 people on the advisory board, and so her and I are the Diamonds representatives now.
That's awesome.
So,
I want to brag about you for a second. We had never I'd heard your name, and we'd probably sat in on winter seminars and stuff like that, and been in the same area at the same time, but never officially introduced each other or met. And I think it might have been the Ohio Cup of 2019, and I was setting up the fields, barrel roller, and when they do this on Friday, there's the field set up, and then there's all the helpers and volunteers from the Diamonds and Muffins organization come out. They're picking up trash, moving hay bale. And as I'm setting up the field, I'm like, what is strapped to that woman? And I because she's away from me, I'm like, what is she carrying? She's carrying a human. Amy had a baby strapped to her and was going around picking up trash. And I was like, I came home and I told my wife, I was like, this is impressive. Just because I was like, that's dedication. Because, having little ones that you have to hold, you don't really get to do much except hold the little ones. So that I want to brag about the dedication to Vintage and the program for you there.
I was still on maternity leave when that happened.
That was baller. It was good.
Thank you.
Amy, what other facets of volunteering come into your life as a volunteer of the Ohio Village Connection? I believe it's called Historic Connection. What is the official name of that?
Ohio History Connection. So
I was in the ballpark.
You were close.
So you're asking, so through the Ohio History Connection, is there other volunteer opportunities? Is that what you're asking?
Well, I'm saying that you are an official volunteer, but you also have a seat on the advisory board. But what is everything you do besides playing on a baseball field 8 times a year? What else are you doing within the volunteering?
There are things that they ask us to do all the time. Again, it's all a volunteer thing. So if you want to do it, you can. So I've done a couple, Night at the Museum. This is where the museum comes alive, like the movie, and we all play a part. Like we just woke up and we are these vintage baseball players, and we walk around and we act like what is that automobile? So that's a lot of fun. We have almost 1,000 visitors come to the museum to see that. I've done TV spots before. Oh goodness, I have gone into the village and just been in the bicycle shop and talked about vintage baseball. So really, whatever you want to do, they're going to let you do it, because they need volunteers there at the village too. So, but we do get
the Night at the Museum thing sounds cool. Rudy, have you ever gone to
that? No. no, but it is super cool. And the only reason I can never go is because, of work, but it is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That's like an acting thing. Do you have an acting bug, Amy?
No.
It's just a natural charisma. You can't really do anything about it. So
just what is this automobile? How do I say this? Where do I put my hands?
That's very good. I have a question about you mentioned like being on the advisory board and all of the things that you were doing as far as volunteering your time to various events for the History Connection and for the program. And Barrel Roller hinted at recruiting people. I mean, like having enough people to get it going. What are you finding to be your most successful recruiting techniques? I mean, because any vintage baseball team can benefit from this, because the goal is to always get more people involved. What are you seeing is that you're getting the most output from?
I mean, I'd love to say that it was like our fancy Facebook posts and, flyers and stuff, but it really isn't. It's really word of mouth from the people that you already have invested. So a lot of our women that are on my team, they have men that are playing or they have family members. So I think that's where your wealth of people are, because nobody's going to stumble upon this and be like, what is this weird niche that we do? Well, if you already have an in, it's a lot easier to convince somebody to at least get on the field. So outside of that, it's just right now we're just trying to get out there and be seen, right? People don't know what you're doing if you don't go out and do it. So, we're trying to get anywhere around the state of Ohio and play the game, whether it's with men or, festival teams. And we do, at each festival game, I gather up the festival team and I talk about who we are, and we'd love to have them at any time join us. So we literally bring a sign up sheet with us. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. So that's pretty much our two basic ways that we get people.
Amy, let me run across my idea for a recruiting tool that I can no longer use because I'm not part of a team or anything like that. My idea is you just get a bunch of guys and some girls and you dress up in uniforms and you just go down to the softball fields on the biggest night of the week and you just walk through as a team and you just start insulting people, not name calling. You start talking trash about the way they're playing and how they're playing and the rules that they're playing by and all of that. And then you challenge them to play you after they're done. And then you play a little bit of a game and then boom, you've gotten 2 or 3 people. What do you think about this idea?
I think that's pretty ballsy. There's always the balance too, right? Of we're playing a gentlemanly or ladylike game versus coming across and talking trash. So,
but the trash isn't negative.
That is true.
What is that thing on your head? What are you doing? Things like that. It's just talking smack about the way they're playing.
You know what? I might take this back to the advisory board and just get their thoughts on that. So
I'm glad I don't have an advisory board.
Yeah, I was about to say, don't lead with. This was an idea that was mentioned on the Roller Out the Barrel show. Don't lead.
Oh yeah. No. All advisory boards hate us. All of them, even ones that have nothing to do with baseball. We're just the worst. Amy, I want you to think back to all of your vintage baseball matches that you've played in, probably 100 or so.
Mm-hmm.
What was your best moment? One of your best moments? Personal. It's time to flex. When did you make a play or get a hit that was a memorable moment?
Can I just add a little bit to this? I just want to add something on the tail end of that question, but I also want to hear that one time that you were playing in a mixed club match and one of the guys was like, you know what, I'm gonna hit it to Amy. They're like, and then you just like snapped them off or something. If there's a story like that, I'd love to hear it.
Oh man. I would say recently, I think this was not in a men's game though. So I guess my initial question from that was, I was in a game and for some reason, I just thought, I'm not going to get this ball that's coming at me really fast. So I stuck my foot out to get it. Like, I don't know why I did that, but I did. And I happened to kick it up and then I caught it with my other hand and threw it for an out. So I felt like it was like one of those da-na-na moments, So that happened. See, honestly, like the diamonds are in it for the fun. So, I think that's where we really differ, where I think you could ask any guy this question and they would be like, this time, this place, it was against this person. Whereas like, I just go out and I have fun. So if I get a chance to, I want to say make a guy look bad, I mean, that's just extra. So it's
icing.
happened, but I don't know that I can say like, it was against Ian Frios and I caught his ball. No, I don't have.
No, it was. Is that what you just said? I think we just broke that story on the Roller Out the Barrel show. Ian Frias tried to hit a line drive at Amy Dickerson, and she snatched it with one hand like it was nothing. That's what I heard.
Got it.
It was like, I'm going to crush ball to fun-sized girl. And
No,
it didn't
honestly,
work out.
he scares me. No.
I mean, I was just transported right now. I thought Ian was in the room with us. That
I
was
was trying to- I mean, I was just using a voice of what. Now he doesn't sound anything like that. Obviously,
No.
he's just
he's
got a
gonna
normal
murder
voice.
me
But
when he hears this.
but if you
That's all right,
don't
it's
talk
me.
to him, if you don't talk to him and you look, it's like, I'm going to hurt you.
Mhm.
Stay away. We love Ian Frias stories on here. Rudy,
Yeah. Mhm.
Rudy, give an Ian Frias story.
Ian Frias was one of the many Frias men to don the dress to help play a match with the Lady Diamonds. It was in Addison, Pennsylvania, with the teams there when they had like 3 or 4 teams, and the Diamonds played. And it was like the other team didn't have enough people. So Ian put on the dress. I think there's many pictures.
Why not? I have not seen any of these pictures. I need some of these pictures. Amy, is baseball or softball, ball stick sports your favorite sport?
Yeah. Yeah.
So what is second? What's second?
No.
Is it football?
I mean, I like football. I like watching football, but if
I
there's
think-
like,
Do you like
I don't
taking
think-
risks while you watch football? Because wasn't there a picture of you in a Steelers jersey at a Bengals game? What was this?
so I went to the Steelers Bengals game recently. My neighbors are Bengals fans. My husband and I are Steelers fans. And I'll just tell you, like, I'm more of a Steelers fan because he's a Steelers fan. But because he said girls look hot in Steelers jerseys. So I had to do it. But yeah, so I went to the game.
So
it was a crazy game.
you, I'm going to say that you're just like my wife, that you don't like football, but you do like going to things in person.
Mhm.
You do like the atmosphere. You like the tailgate. You like the crowd electricity during the games, and you like all that. But as far as football goes, it's whatever. That's okay. Do you go to any Ohio State games?
I just went to the game this past weekend. Yep.
So that's a much crazier atmosphere than, say, a professional game, I would say.
Yeah. I mean, it was pretty mild, Saturday, but it can be kind of crazy.
It's crazy when they're not playing a team like Rutgers. Let's just say.
Yes.
Well, yeah. Wasn't there a fight on the field between the coaches or an argument or something?
Oh,
Did you see that when that happened?
With the punter. Yeah.
Well, they're both jerkholes. That's what happened.
So you enjoy going to live sporting events and such. I'm gonna make us all both look bad. The amount of research that I did was, it looks like you enjoy camping.
Yes.
So
you enjoy camping.
as an individual myself who has just recently over the past 5 years gotten to experience the joy of camping with a child, what is the one item that you have to have with you when you are camping now?
Oh man, this is tough because I have 2 kids, so and I'm packing for them.
No, for you. This item's for you.
Me? Probably just like a hoodie. Like, I get cold so easily. I don't know.
So do you prefer,
sad.
what season do you prefer to camp in?
I prefer like now.
Yeah.
Where it's a little bit colder and have some benefit of it being around the fire. So yeah.
That's a good point.
Mhm.
On October 22nd, I'm going to the upper part of Michigan to traverse into the middle of the woods to interview Wesley Redstick Perry.
Nice.
He's huge into nature, and he told me to bring a shovel. I don't know what any of that means, but we're going into
body?
we are. I don't know.
Just
Bag of lime, and I'm
just
like,
wait-
whatever.
This is turning into a Dateline episode.
He said, "I'll do this interview, but you got to bring a few things." I was like, "All right, whatever."
Barrel
And,
roller, that's called Exhibit A in a court of law.
Right.
well, I mean, I got to get the words.
Just make sure you turn on the Find My Phone feature, okay?
Yes. Mhm.
So we are actually, and the truth is we are going to walk for about a half an hour into the woods and then sit down and record.
Oh my.
And all you're going to hear is nature in the background, and then he'll be coming back out of the woods. But I'll have gotten what I wanted.
Let me tell you something. Having this, I recently was camping in Hocking Hills, and just being around where you don't hear the ambient sound of traffic or cars or like a highway or something.
Yeah.
At first, as a city individual who grew up in the city and for many years thought camping was going to stay in a cabin in the woods, it's a little unnerving, but then it brings you this calmness and this serenity. So drink it in, Barrel Roller. You're going to love it.
Sure. Amy, you've got 2 kids. What are their ages?
I've got a 7-year-old named Corbin and a 3-year-old named Emma.
So have you integrated anything into their, say, entertainment lives that was part of your childhood when you were a kid that you thought, I loved this so much, maybe they will too?
Yes, it was T-ball and it was horrible. Like, the one thing that you just love and you just want your kid to just love it too, right? And so he got the uniform on and he got his little glove and he cried the whole time. And I had to, he wouldn't even go out on the field. Way to crush my dreams, Corbin.
Oh no.
So, we haven't tried it again yet.
Were you a part of the coaching staff or were you just a parent?
I was just a parent, but we didn't leave the field. So.
Wow. Yeah. I found, because we just finished T-ball. This summer was our first, and update, Barrel Roller, Javi just dropped on me 2 days ago, Dad, I really miss T-ball. And my heart grew 10 times like the Grinch. And like you said, Barrel Roller, there T-ball, you don't coach, you kind of just direct. You just kind of try to direct the chaos. And so don't give up on your dream, Amy. It will happen. Okay.
Yeah, as they get older, they'll be a little more attentive. I hope. I would assume. What hobbies do you have with your husband? What do you guys do together besides camping?
There's camping. Other than that, I just love trying out new restaurants, and Columbus is full of just fun, trendy restaurants downtown or in the short north. So we just like doing that. And we go to, we went to a concert, stuff.
Oh, what was the last concert you went to?
The Head and the Heart.
No way. I
actually have my t-shirt on right now.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
I've never heard of this.
Oh,
it's like an indie folk group.
Yeah.
Is this like a local thing?
No.
They're from Washington, Seattle.
Rivers and Roads. Look up that song.
I got it.
And
I'm Googling these.
I saw the Head and the Heart my wife was violently pregnant and with Javi, and we went to the Palace to see the Head and the Heart. Nice. And the Palace is beautiful. Absolutely no seat. The seating was uncomfortable, and everybody stood. I felt so bad for her, but it was a great show. It was a fun show. But that's awesome. Where did you while Barrel Roller learns and expands his musical horizons, Where did you meet your husband?
Sam's Club.
Shut. Okay, that you did. Was he on sale? Was it?
In the bulk
Were
food
you-
area, we both worked there. So I worked there through college, and I was the manager. He was like a stock boy, and he thought it was hilarious to, like, when I needed something, I would call back, on the walkie-talkies, and he would always say, "Yes, sir," like to me, and I was like, "You are a jerk," but he's kind of cute. So we started dating.
You're one of those girls that like guys who's jerks? Is that what's going
I
on?
mean, I like funny guys. Yes.
That's very.
First date, where'd you go?
BW3s? Yeah. I spilled pop all over him. And he now to this day makes a joke that I was trying to get his pants off, but that wasn't true. It was an accident. Is this too much?
No, I made a comment about an all-girls Catholic school at the beginning of the show. I believe to go wherever you want to go.
Past that.
I didn't even talk about how they all had matching uniforms.
Oh,
in my head.
goodness.
Oh my goodness. Did you figure out the head and the heart?
I'm looking at their tour schedule right here.
Okay.
They're in Madison, Wisconsin tomorrow with a special guest, Shaky Graves.
Shaky Graves.
Yeah, he was at our concert.
House is
I've never
Haunted.
heard.
That's my jam. Well, I'm gonna be completely honest. I only know these bands because of my wife. That's it.
Yeah.
Also being joined in Nashville, Tennessee by Chrome Pony. Have you heard of them, Amy?
I have not. No.
I'm going to ask you to open up your heart to Chrome Pony, and
Okay.
the next time that
Fun.
we get to talk to you next year at the Ohio Cup or whatever, we're gonna talk Chrome Pony. And but I noticed at the store of the Head and the Heart website that they have this fantastic looking satin 80s jacket. So I'm already in love.
There you go.
And I will look them up on Spotify tomorrow while I'm working and see what tantalizes me from their selection. I hope that I'm a fan of their entire catalog.
There we go.
I'm gonna say it's gonna take a couple of listens, Barrel Roller, but
Yeah.
we'll get there.
You don't know what I listen to. You have no idea
I've
what
got
I
a
listen
pretty,
to.
I got a
You-
pretty good idea.
I'm guessing like
you
rock
are
and roll.
judging me. No, I used to be. I think I held on to the 80s for about 30 years. But,
Yeah.
but then about 10 years ago, I kind of let them go.
I have it.
I haven't I've appreciated, so like the 80s songs. Amy, what's your favorite 80s band?
Does Kiss count?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'll count.
Six?
Kiss.
Kiss.
Kiss. Oh my God, Kiss is horrible. I love them. See, that's the thing, is these 80 bands are horrible.
Bite
and you
your
love
tongue.
them, and you have no choice. No, Kiss is terrible. And I listen to them all the time.
Bite your tongue.
I can't
Bite
help it. If you look up the lyrics of the Kiss songs, they are bad.
Oh no.
But they're like, I can't help it. They're fun music to listen to.
Oh my gosh.
Best concert. One of the best concerts I ever went to was the Kiss farewell tour. Now this was like 15 years ago.
In
and they're still
95?
going.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I was there.
Kiss, it was Kiss and Poison opened for them, and I went to this concert, and Gene Simmons flew up on this big thing, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, they're still doing this stuff. But it's a good time.
It's called
Yeah,
showmanship.
Yeah.
I saw Kiss on their Psycho Circus tour, I think in 98 or 99. They were doing the same thing. It was magical.
It's magical.
Amy, you're too young to understand the pain and the hurt of when Kiss took off their makeup. You weren't old enough when that happened, and that was painful. And then they put the makeup back on. Thank God. It was like Coke doing new Coke.
You know they took the makeup off in the 80s, right? Like Lick It Up. That was them taking the makeup off.
Yeah, I know. They took the makeup off. Then they put it back on. Almost
we were both
immediately.
alive for that.
I mean, God gave rock and roll to you. No makeup. Bill and Ted.
Amy,
I'm sorry.
Amy, what is the one artist or musical act you have to see?
Have to see. I don't know. This is tough. I can tell you that who I could see over and over again.
Who?
The Avett Brothers.
Oh yeah.
My son is named after the Avett Brothers.
Nice.
So probably another group, Matt, that you need to look up.
Dude,
No. Judgy people. Table for two. Judgy people. I've heard of them. I have listened to some of their music. Thank you for trying to make me feel old and out of touch, but you were mistaken.
I mean, you pictured me in a Catholic schoolgirl outfit, I'm sure. So
I pictured the entire school in a Catholic.
correction.
So, Amy, you got these two young kids. You guys go camping. Obviously, you're spending some nights watching some streaming devices and TV with your husband. Is this not right?
I mean, kind of. I mean, I have little kids, so TV is kind of, whatever they want to watch.
But they go to bed, and then you guys.
And then I go to bed.
Yeah, I guess that sounds great. Is there one show that you and your husband watch together?
No. I know this
you don't have that.
A really crappy answer, but like I'm really bad about like binge watching stuff and stay up till 2 a.m. So we can't watch shows together. We just can't.
Because you have so different tastes?
No, it's just that he wants to go to sleep and I just keep watching.
You have no impulse control. So you're going to binge watch an entire season.
Right. I'm the girl that's like, are you still watching this? Yes, Netflix, I am. Come on.
So, okay. Because my wife and I, we do watch a bit of Netflix-ish shows together, but then we'll come across shows where I'm like, you can go ahead on that one on your own. I'll catch up at my leisure. And she does the same thing with me. So what was the last show that you binged, or one of the last shows?
Where's that? It's like Love at First Sight or something like that. It's something super girly.
Is that the Netflix show where there's like a wall in between people?
Yes. Yeah. It's so stupid, but yeah, I watched that.
We just lost Barrel Roller.
This is what you get when you interview a female.
Is this a rom-com?
No, it's like a reality show.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, I'm on reality shows.
Except
Survivor.
Yeah. You have 7 and 3. I have 5 and 2. What cartoon are you trying to gear them towards a cartoon? Because like I found that my sweet spot was playing cartoons that I liked, and then hopefully that seed would plant. So like, what cartoons are currently on rotation?
Oh man. So my kids are huge fans of like YouTube. Yeah. So
what's that guy named Blippy? Boopy? That guy?
Flippy? Yeah. So my daughter likes Flippy. But my
Ryan's
son,
Mystery Playdate. Do you do that?
No.
Okay, good. Stay away.
Yeah. So I mean my daughter's into like princess stuff right now. So anything princess, Elsa.
Okay. Have you ever played Pretty Little Princess with your daughter?
I don't think so.
Have you ever heard of this game?
No.
All right. So this is a game, not a video game.
Okay.
This is a game you have to go to the toy store or Amazon and get. It's called Pretty Little Princess. I am telling both of you to get this game because you spin a wheel, and when you land on a portion, it comes with princess earrings and necklaces and crowns and stuff like this. You spin the wheel, and when it lands on one, you get to put it on. And the first one to get all of the accessories on is the Pretty Little Princess. And I am a champion at this game, by the way. I have been Pretty Little Princess so many times. I found this game my daughter's currently 28 years old. But when she was a child, there it is.
That's it.
We would play all the time. I cheated all the time. And then my stepdaughter, Amelia, who is now 16, when she was young, we played all the time. I also cheated really bad with her because
Yeah.
I want to be the pretty little princess, and I was. But it's a fun game that the kids love, even when they lose, and especially when they get used to losing.
Yeah. So you brought up the name Amelia. That's something that I used to tell people that my name was Amelia, and it was just Amy for short. And I think that there's still people out there that believe that, but it's not true.
Was it because you didn't like Amy, or you just loved Amelia?
I feel like my name is so basic, and there was like a ton of them like when I went through school, and so I just wanted to jazz it up a bit.
So my wife's name is Amy.
Yeah. It's true though. Is she just an AMY?
I wonder if she feels the same way. Yeah, she just AMY. Maybe you should have just changed it to like AIMEE or something to just change it up. I don't know.
What were my parents thinking?
Oh my gosh.
But Amy's not short for anything. And you kind of get the short end of the stick on that thing. It's just, there it is. But like Rudy's short for Rodolfo, right?
Is it?
Who told you?
Your mom.
I mean, that's what it's short for.
No, that's exactly. It's short. I got to stick with Rudy because there was a period of time in college I had a professor that said you need to go by your name, Rodolfo. He's like, it's going to help with casting. And I was like, okay. And I did that. And everybody thought I spoke Spanish, and everybody would speak Spanish to me. And I'd had to be like, I don't speak Spanish. I'm sorry. So Rudy's okay for me.
Yeah.
So,
Amy, what's something that you want to accomplish in your life in the next 5 years?
Told you.
Deep, man. Okay, this is silly, but it's kind of baseball related. Well, it's totally baseball related. So there's this big bat award that is for Big Don Anderson, big bat that we just started. And the bat is huge that you get for this award, right? And it's like half my size. And so like, that's what I want. I just want that big old bat, and I want to actually swing it on the field. I know that's so weird, not a great like answer to your question, but it's fun. So.
I mean, it's a fine answer. There's nothing wrong with your answer.
It's not like
any of this
super aspirational, like being president. But.
Yeah. We kind of tiptoed around it, and I'm gonna. So, someone that we've made multiple jokes about short and height and fun size. How did the nickname Fun Size come along? Was this given to you, or did you declare it?
Whoa. We didn't make any jokes about anybody's height. What do you got a French mouse in your pocket? We didn't do that.
Hey folks, go back and get to the point where Barrel Roller mentioned short in reference to Amy. It's okay. Keep going.
I mean, I'm only 5'2", so let's start there.
Okay.
So we were at a game, and this is my early years, and at the point I think I was one of the fastest diamonds. I have now since aged, and there's younger people, but so yeah, since I'm smaller in stature, that's the nickname they came up with. And at the same time, my husband also got a nickname. He's not a player at all, just total spectator, so they call him Mr. Goodbar. And I'm Fun Size. I don't know. So there's not like a great story. It's just like, hey, she's fun. She's small. Let's call her that. So
fair enough.
Do you pass out Fun Size candy bars at Halloween?
No, I go for the big good stuff. Come on.
Now it's that season. No, go ahead, Barrel Roller.
They don't make special dark in the big size. You have to get the Fun Size to get the special dark. Yep. I mean, you're missing it totally. And crackle, you're not getting crackle in a full size bar. You got to get the Fun Size.
You got to go to like an old timey pharmacy to get a crackle bar. I mean, so with Halloween right around the corner, what are we thinking for a costume? We doing a family costume? Kids doing something? What are you thinking?
So yeah, family costume. So usually my husband will take one of the kids and I take the other, and we complement them. Like last year I was a sensei and my son was a ninja. And so this year it's kind of twofold. My daughter Emma wants to be a witch. So I'm going to be a witch too. But then my two sisters, Audra and Ashley, they want to go as the Sanderson sisters. So I get to be the weird one, Mary. So yeah.
That's good. Nice.
If you can go back in time to Amy, when she first is hitting the Dominican University, the Ohio Dominican University, and you say, Amy, you're going to have a good life. You don't really want to change anything that's going to happen in the future, but you should probably try a little bit harder at this. What is that thing?
This is not the answer you're looking for, but I probably would have partied more.
You would have partied more?
Yes. I mean,
go ahead.
I mean, I was the good kid. Like, I graduated with honors. I have a dual degree from college. Like, I did all the right things. Like, and I did go out and I had fun, but I just, I was pretty conservative. So
nice.
And then, so on the flip side of that, and then you would say, but you need to not do this so much. What's that thing?
Oh, so many answers are crossing through my head right now. Fighting. I know that's a weird answer. So I'm kind of scrappy. Like, I had a lot of.
Here we are. We're here.
Here we are.
Grade school. Amy's getting into a bunch of fisticuffs. Tell me about your biggest fight in grade school. Obviously, this is where we're at, Amy. You got to tell us there's a fight story.
So it's not really grade school though. So it was more like college years. So
whoa, all right.
Like,
here
could
we
have been
are.
arrested.
So, vests and skirts and white shirts were flying everywhere at the Catholic
They weren't
college.
wearing uniforms.
And here we go. Amy got into a fight. What was the fight?
Okay, so I have two. Oh, do you want to hear the gang fight? Or do you want to hear Bart Simpson?
No, both of them, all of it. Give it all of us. We want all of it.
Okay, so there's this place called the Galloway Tavern. So I grew up in Galloway, Ohio. And this is a hole in the wall, wonderful place that has carpet on the floor, at a bar, that kind of feel. And so the place was kind of being taken over by this biker gang that they were just guys with cuts and everything that would come in and they just thought they were hot crap, right? So at one point, it was a very busy night, and one of the biker guys saw my sister's boyfriend at the time, and he was a very good looking individual, and they just didn't like him. So he got punched in the face.
Oh.
And it felt like time stopped because I took my drink, an Amaretto sour, and I ran over there and I just threw my drink in the guy's face. So then my friend, who was a lot bigger than me, she picked me up and was like, you can't do this, and like hauled me away, basically. So then the boys went outside scuffling, and so I went out to join in this biker gang fight with my sister's boyfriend. And on the way out, so I'm ready, I'm running, I tripped. Fell face first, and then I got up and then I jumped on the biker guy's back and started punching his head. It's a moment I'm not proud of, but it happened.
Wow.
So yeah, that was one. The other one it was a Halloween, and I was dressed as Homer Simpson.
Oh my God.
My now husband was dressed as Marge, and this girl kept hitting on my cousin. So you can see a trend here. Like, I'm very protective of my friends and family. So, and the girl was really drunk, and so she kind of got up in my face, and I punched her really bad, and she kind of went down. And so then I was like, oh, freaking out because I, got to leave this party because I don't want the cops to come. So then I'm taking off my costume and jumping into the car. So I'm pretty sure the last thing the girl remembers was getting punched by Homer Simpson before she passed out. She's okay.
That is the exact reason I never once dressed up for Halloween in college. I went to OU and I never once dressed up ever because I was like, I don't want to be somewhere. And then the stuff hits the fan and then I'm dressed as Zorro. I don't know. I don't want to be like, I don't want that. But good on you.
I don't know if it's good or not, but it happened. So
I love it. We should though, in the interest of time, I did put in the chat a test your typing skills link, and it gives you 60 seconds, and it says words per minute, characters per minute, and then accuracy. Barrel roller, you can sit this one out if you want.
I'll just sit it out.
Okay.
I mean, yeah.
So you just want to like go ahead and see what we both get?
Yeah, let's see what we both get. I'm gonna share my screen and see if I there we go.
Okay.
This is gonna be real bad for me. And
full screen here.
the good news is, Barrel Roller, see here, you get to say, they give you what you get a script to type, and you just have to type it.
Yeah, yep, I see that.
Okay. Whenever Amy's ready, we'll start.
Okay, I'm ready.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Why don't you count us down, Barrel Roller?
That's a 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh God, I forgot space.
Keep going. Give it your best.
I'm already done.
You are terrible.
The problem is I'm not looking at the keys.
So you are coming up on the 30-second mark. You've
What?
done 11 words. Your accuracy is not terrible. It's at 82% and getting better.
It's not getting
I can't-
better.
Nope, it's not. It went down. I can't see Amy's, obviously, so she'll have to share her stats when she's done. You're down to 71% accuracy. I feel like I could do better than this. I really feel like I could do better than this.
Okay, you know what? In my defense, it's just really humid in this room, and I had a late lunch.
See, my fingers have a low center of gravity.
Okay, for the listeners out there, we are done. I am a turtle. Well, you type with the speed of 29 words per minute. Your accuracy was 78%. It could be better.
Okay, you want me to share my screen now?
Yeah, go for
absolutely.
it. Host disabled participant.
Oh,
Screen
sorry. Here we go. Okay, there we are. There you go.
Here it comes.
Shut up.
Octopus.
You're an octopus. 93%. I was kind of thinking to be better than that. Oh well.
I was listening to you guys though.
This is the passive aggressive trash talk that Barrow wants you to take to like the softball fields. I would have hit that better. That's nice. Oh
yeah. Why are you overrunning first base? What are you doing? I'm just talking about making fun of the rules. I'm not talking about trash. I think everyone's misunderstanding what I'm going for on that, but that's okay. Amy, as we expected and as we already knew from past experiences with you, you are a delight.
Thank you.
A true pleasure to talk to. Thank you for being on the show. And before we let you go, I'm going to do something because you've never listened to an episode of the show. Admit it.
I have.
Your episode. What was an episode that wasn't the one with you on it that you've
Well, you
listened to?
interviewed Aaron Seddon and Jennifer Bell, so I listened to that one.
Okay. Did we do Rudy? Did we talk to Jennifer Bell?
I did.
Okay, I don't remember. All right.
Okay.
Is that the wrong?
I talked to Megan Boggs. Did you hear that one?
Only parts of it.
I think that was Ohio Cup 2021 version.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I listened to one with Ryan. Yeah.
Ryan was like one of my first interviews ever 3 years ago or 4 years ago, or I don't know. I lost track of time.
Yeah.
But I'm going to give you the old pepper. And what that is I'm just going to ask you a bunch of questions with quick answers, and we're just going to roam through some of these. They're very You'll understand.
Okay.
Amy Dickerson, what is your favorite pie?
Apple.
What is the last movie you saw in the theater?
Sonic.
Name something you are afraid of.
The dark.
Do you believe in aliens?
Possibly. Yes.
Is an amaretto sour your favorite alcoholic drink?
If I'm trying to slow drink, yes.
Where is the best breakfast in Columbus, Ohio?
I'm not a breakfast fan, so I'd have to go with Jolly Pirate Donuts.
What is your favorite soup?
Tomato?
What was your first car?
Dodge Shadow.
Have you ever milked an animal? She lived in the country, Rudy.
An animal.
Have you ever milked an animal?
I have not.
You've not milked a goat or a cow? Have you ever milked an almond? All right.
No. Put it on my bucket list.
You have said in this interview that you dressed up as Homer Simpson. Give us your best Homer Simpson impersonation.
Oh. That's all I got.
Come on, you were saying stuff all night that night. You know that you were. What were the Homer Simpson things you were saying?
I think you just walk around and belch a lot, right? Like that's all you have to do.
Was your husband talking like Marge?
No.
You guys, you've ruined it. Amy, what is your second favorite color?
Blue.
Who is the most famous person you've ever met?
Do you guys count?
It'd be unfortunate, but yes.
We'll go with that.
Okay, we'll go with Rudy Frias. He does have an IMDb page. What was the first concert you ever went to?
Alan Jackson.
Give me your Mount Rushmore of your favorite Ohio Village muffin players of all time.
Ooh.
In no particular order.
Right.
Chip. He's one of my faves.
It's a good one.
Aaron Sutton. Also, he
It's a good
showed
one.
me. He was like my ambassador to the program. He was like so nice to me. How many more heads do I need? Okay.
Two more? Like Kiss.
2 more. I feel like I'm gonna leave somebody out. Let's see.
You
Don
are going to
Anderson.
leave somebody out.
I am gonna leave
okay.
somebody out. It's a tough one.
Well, this one's a freebie. You have a healthy mix of like veterans and this generation of muffin players. So this one you can choose whoever.
I think I'm gonna go with Josh Good. He's a newbie.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah. He's
What
just
was
really
your
friendly.
first job?
I was a bagger at Myers.
Just the bagger. You weren't you weren't scanning and.
I mean,
any
every
of
now
that?
and then I was a cart girl, you know. I was 15.
Can you name something that you're terrible at, but you refuse to not do?
I refused to
Like
not
you
do.
know you're not good at something. You know you're not good at something, but you still
Is he cutting out or is it me?
No, he's cutting out. You could repeat that, barrel roller. We lost you. Oh, he's frozen.
Listen.
So what's the what? Yeah, I'll
Freeze.
follow up. What?
The question is,
Okay, go ahead.
is there something? Yeah, go ahead.
Something I'm
The
terrible.
question was, is there something in your life, even something tedious and small, something you're not good at?
So what's one
But
thing
you
you're not good
continue-
at, Amy?
Okay. Mowing
Yeah,
the lawn.
There you
Apparently,
go.
last time I did it, I mowed half my neighbor's lawn. So.
No, it sounds like you're really great at it.
Well, that's going to do it. Amy, thank you so much for being on the show. Like I said earlier, you're a delight. It's really easy for Rudy and I to come on here and interview people we enjoy talking to, and we get lucky. We get lucky a lot. We run across people that we just can't wait to see in person again, and you're one of those. Rudy, your thoughts?
No, it's so great for you to join us. I really can't stress enough, anybody listening out there, reach out to Amy through social medias. If you're in the Columbus area and you're like, ooh, I want to be a diamond, talk to me about women in vintage baseball, because I mean, we need to keep that spark going, and I'm really excited that you're one of the people carrying the torch, Amy. So thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate you asking me to join. It's been interesting and a pleasure.
Well, as long as it's been interesting, that's all we're going for. Are we going to get sued? Just
you never asked
coming?
me what I do for a living, which is super funny. So
go ahead. Hey, we're still recording.
I'm in human
Dickerson.
resources for the Ohio State University. So
you do. What was that part? I didn't hear it.
I'm in human resources.
Oh no. Oh no. Are you like human resources for employees of Ohio State University, like the entire university?
So the part that I normally do is disability services. So when people get injured, they come talk to me. So
but you're in the office with all the other departments, right? Oh, that place is just busy.
Yeah.
Oh, that place is like,
and so much training on diversity and inclusion and appropriate speaking. So
do you think people have learned anything yet, or do you think they will never learn? And I'm talking about human resources violations.
You know, it's a slow change, but I think we'll get there. So I think, this is not PC, but as the older generation comes out, you got a lot of millennials coming in that have a lot of open thoughts about things. So we'll see.
Yes. Okay. I see where you're going with this.
Spoken like a true human resource individual.
Nope. Yeah. I see exactly what she's saying. She's saying that the older generation are violators, and the younger generation has focused on being the opposite of the violators. And by the time the younger generation becomes the older generation, they'll be violating in completely different ways than happens right now.
Potentially, yeah. Job security.
There you go.
We've violated a couple of human resources things tonight, and it's a good thing that we don't have human resources. So
you got a mouse in your pocket? What's this wee thing?
I think you did. Maybe. No? Okay. Wee. Okay, Amy, stay on the line so we can say goodbye to you like gentlemen would.
Okay.
As we thank everybody out there for listening to another episode. We got 9 more interviews left. We're at the end of season 3. We got unfortunately our play-by-play season's done. Vintage baseball is done for us. But we are going to be experimenting with movie watch-alongs this off season. So while it's holiday time, you can watch along to Rudy and I and some guests blab on about some baseball movie, blah, blah, blah. It'll be fun. Or it won't be. I mean, you guys really, let's face it, you guys just listen to the interviews. All the other nonsense we try on this show, nobody cares about. But the play-by-play actually caught on at the end of the year, so we'll see. I was at Deranged Haunt in Romulus, Michigan, just the other night at a haunt, a vintage baseball podcast at a haunt. How do you think that went, everybody? You're right. All right, and so we'll see in the future. For Amy Dickerson and Rudy Frias, I'm the barrel roller. Rudy, slap the line on him, would you?
That's right, people. We're saying keep it station to station, and we'll see you out in the field.
Nah, I'm tired of that. Say something new.
Okay. For the barrel roller and the swamp fox, we just want to say, we'll catch you on the flip side. Don't know, man.
Terrible.
Our hearts will go on.
Goodbye, everybody.